So welcome again to Skilled Inspiration Academy. So this is for F5 LTM. So generally, first of all, we need to know what is F5, why it came into picture. So basically, what when we are discussing about F5, so we will cover this as a course agenda. First, we will cover big IP system TMOS architecture, like what is F5 load balancer and how it came into picture. Then we will cover initial setup and LTM components. So LTM and big IPs are the same term. So LTM is called local traffic manager, which is also called TMOS or big IP. So TMOS is traffic management operating system. So TMOS is your F5 LTM operating system, which came into picture. So like we have Juniper Junus, in F5 we have TMOS, so it's like that. And F5 has different products in market, which we will cover in detail. So we will be covering LTM, then I will give you some basics of GTM and ASM. GTM is a DNS module and ASM is your security module. So if I talk about LTM, so LTM course agenda, we will cover like what is the architecture, what is the advantage of deploying F5 LTM. Then I will tell you like initial setup. I will cover your lab setup where we will discuss about network setup, where we will cover about VMware settings, like how F5 load balancer is set up, how routing is done, how interfaces are connected with that. Then we will cover concepts of load balancing, like what is load balancing, what are different types of load balancer,
Okay.
and then we will cover about health monitors. This is the basic agenda, okay? Maybe you will not get right now, but we will cover for agenda. So initially, this is how F5 LTM TMOS works. So initially, why F load balancer? Let's first discuss what is load balancer. Before going into LTM, let's talk about load balancer.
Okay.
So if I talk about load balancer, as Amit told us, load balancer is a device where client will send request and traffic will come to load balancer and it will distribute to different application servers.
Yeah.
Okay, so it can be like different load balancing algo can be there. We will cover in detail. So if I talk about basic architecture, like how load balancer works and why, what's the advantage of load balancer, then I will show you that now in picture by diagram. So if I talk about load balancer, let's take it as an F5. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
will take it as, here we will take one client
Okay.
and here we will take servers. I'm taking 3 servers, so I will tell you later on like why we are taking these servers, what's the advantage. So this is 3 servers. So if I talk about this, so clients connect to F5, then F5 will load balance between 3 servers. This is our basic architecture. So I was talking about what is load balancer. So initially load balancer, when there was no load balancer, then what was disadvantage? So generally, when there was no load balancer before your application servers, then load of servers traffic was more. So what happened was like, if I talk about this server one, when there was no load balancer in picture, this server one would get all traffic from client. So this server S1 was getting more utilized, and when this goes down, there was no way to track this server. So what happens? Like, what is the advantage of load balancer? So suppose this server goes down, F5 can distribute traffic to this server.
Yeah, okay.
F5 can distribute traffic to this server. So it load balance, like if I get 10 requests here, it will load balance 10 here in on server 1. If I say 10 requests will come on server 1, 10 requests will go to server 2, and 10 requests will go to server 3.
Okay.
So when there was no load balancer in picture, I'm not talking about F5 or anything. Let's take any load balancer. When there was no load balancer between this server like S1, S2, S3 in the picture, then there was no way to track that which server is down, which server is up. And at that time, initially all the requests would have come on one server, or if we have redundant server, then there was no tracking. Like client request will come, it will access the application. If there is more load, then your customer will report slowness. So first issue, what were the issues when there was no load balancer? What were the issues when there was no load balancer? First one, 24 into 7 application availability was not there, because if one server goes down, then there was no way to track that. Second thing is, this was first thing. Second thing was, there was high utilization
One second.
on server because all loads were not getting distributed. So all requests will be coming on one server and customer will report slowness. And another thing where it comes into picture is, like, suppose I want some requests to be distributed on one server. If that server goes down, I should distribute request to another server. So there was no possibility. When there was no load balancer, there was neither you can distribute traffic, neither you can make your application availability 24 into 7. So this is where your F5 load balancer would come in picture, where initially client will access your website. Like if I say abc.com, so customer will access this load balancer. So abc.com will be hosted on your F5, and F5 will distribute load on 3 servers equally. So we will cover load balancing algo later on, but this is how load balancer will come in picture. Like it will distribute based on your load balancing algo. So if I talk about load balancing algo, I will come on that. But before that, like, so this whole model is called full proxy model. So initially, first connection, if I talk about this connection is when client, this is called half proxy. So when client to F5 session is built, so TCP handshake will send. So client will send SYN packet, F5 will send SYNAC, then client will send acknowledge. One three-way handshake has been built. So once this three-way handshake, if I shown 3 arrow, client will send SYN, F5 will send SYN acknowledge, and client will send acknowledgement. Once three-way handshake is built between client to F5, then there will be another three-way handshake between F5 to server, which is this session. So this way, this F5 is called full proxy. So
I have one question.
right, go ahead.
You're saying first three-way handshake will happen from client to F5 and then it will happen from F5 to server. Is it
Right.
like F5 will wait for three-way handshake to get completed from client side and then it will initiate, or it will like?
Right. So there are basically there are different types of virtual server. So there are different types of TCP connection setup. If I talk about, I got your question. Let me explain now that. Thanks for asking. So if I talk about, let's take F5 client and server. This is F5 and this is server. So question is like when client to F5 traffic is built, then only F5 will select server according to load balancing algo. So in that case, your answer is, so there are different types of standard virtual server. So there are different types of virtual server. Let's talk about standard virtual server TCP connection setup, initial one. So in this case, your client will first build send SYN packet. Okay, then F5 will send SYNAC, then client will send ACK. In that case, F5 will not do any selection of server because first it will wait for three-way handshake between your client to F5. One, once handshake is completed, once your handshake is completed, then LTM will choose server, which is called pool member. So once fully this three-way handshake is built, then there will be again a three-way handshake.
Okay, I got your point.
Karan,
It's,
I
it
have a basic
depends.
question. Like, what is the difference between forward proxy and reverse proxy? Like,
Good question. Very good question. So is it clear this
yeah, difference
standard,
is
what
clear.
this handshake,
Yeah,
Santosh
yeah.
and all?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Is the same concept for forward proxy also?
Yes, I will show you now that. Good question. This is one of the interview question also.
Yeah.
So difference between forward proxy and reverse proxy. So forward proxy, if we talk about, we can say McAfee, Blue Coat,
Blue code, yeah.
Zscaler
Mm-hmm.
are forward proxy.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, traffic comes from client, then it hits to proxy, then it goes to internet in
Okay.
forward proxy.
Mm-hmm.
So client will come, it will access website, proxy will see whether categorization is correct of website or not, and then it will forward traffic to internet. But in reverse proxy, what's happening is your client is hitting, let me tell this. So forward proxy, is it clear? So
Yeah, yeah.
whenever client traffic hits your proxy, so basically forward proxy is whenever something you want to access on internet, but you want to protect it from bad website, bad guys. So in that case, there are different modes of proxy. One is forward proxy, one is reverse proxy. So is it clear?
Yeah.
So now I will come on reverse proxy. So Amit, please tell me what is reverse proxy. I hope you must have cleared now.
Yeah.
First you tell
Reverse
me, then I
proxy,
will.
I guess, like, if you protect the from inside the server, if you protect anything from inside, means if the server hosted inside, uh, I guess that's a concept.
So right now we discussed about client F5 and server, right? There was a client, then there was F5, and there is a server. In this case, there is one session between client to this
Mm-hmm.
and F5 to server.
Yeah, that's the
So,
server is hosted inside.
so reverse proxy is basically when your application servers are behind your load balancer.
Okay.
When your application servers are behind or close to load balancer. And forward proxy is reverse of reverse proxy. So forward proxies are basically when client connects to the internet. So client request will come to forward proxy, then it will go to the internet. But in reverse proxy, we don't in reverse proxy, it's opposite. So client request will come to reverse proxy, then it will distribute across different servers for load balancing. So reverse proxy basically sit on the front of your web applications. So content coming from public internet. So if I say, so content will be coming from content will be coming from internet and going to internal servers.
Okay.
So basically, now you tell me what is the difference between forward proxy and reverse proxy. Can I say forward proxy is for outbound request
Yeah.
and reverse proxy is
For
for inbound request?
inbound request. Yeah.
Cool. Did you got it?
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Any doubt, anyone?
Um,
I will
no.
also come out. There is one more concept which is called hop proxy, which we will be covering later on when the session is there. So you need to know about full proxy architecture of F5. You need to know reverse proxy because people get confused. What is reverse proxy and what is full proxy? So it is the same concept. You need to know what is forward proxy, and then there is a concept which is come hop proxy.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to basically focus on F5 architecture of full proxy. Any doubt on that?
No, you can continue.
Why we called it as a full proxy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So this is how it's there. So client TCP connection will come. Then there will be an application data. So why it's called application data? Generally, why F5 has come into picture? Why there is a 24 into 7 availability needed? So suppose if you access any shopping websites, so they access to any HTTPS based URL, correct? So whenever someone access any website, it goes through HTTP URL or HTTPS URL. So F5 load balancer has concept of different profiles to understand whether traffic is simple TCP or whether traffic is HTTP based. So based on content, it will see the packet and it will distribute load. So your connections can be based on TCP where customer is not accessing any load website, but generally you will see wherever in your requirement F5 load balancer is hosted, you are distributing load based on your application data. So client TCP handshake completed, F5 chooses server, this one F5 chooses one of the server, then client will send application data. So application data means client is accessing any HTTPS based website. So it will go, F5 will come, F5 will see, okay, I have the server details, I will forward to that server. So generally this encrypted and unencrypted comes in picture where we will come in to know that F5 load balancer works in three SSL modes. One is SSL offloading, one is SSL bridging, and one is SSL pass through. This is where when your customer wants to access HTTPS, they want your session from client to F5 to be encrypted. So let's draw by picture. Let's come by picture. Client F5 send server. So this is our client. This is F5 and this is server. So initial request will come. Customer will say, now I'm talking about traffic flow when customer access URL abc.com. How traffic flow will happen when F5 is coming in picture. Okay, in that case, initially traffic flow first would be client will send request to F5. F5 will see what is his DNS server. So F5 will send request first for name resolution. Correct? Because first of all, whenever customer will access URL, it should be name resolution because F5 LTM does not do any name resolution.
Can't we keep the DNS server inside the F5 load balancer?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So how F5 will come to know re request will send to which DNS server? So in that case, we need to define like client request initial will come to F5, right? Client is not aware where DNS is hosted, where something is hosted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, F5 need to forward request to DNS server. So how F5 will come to know where DNS server is? Where there we need to define DNS server. So in LTM, we need to go here. Let me show you quickly. Good question.
Okay. And once it's got the path, it will store it in its cache, no?
Right. So
Next
reverse,
time.
right. Reverse proxy F5 has different feature, caching, compression, and everything. So once it has the details, it will stored in its cache. So here, when I right now it's not licensed because I have kept it as unlicensed because we need to do. There is a system tab where you need to define DNS server details. So you can use F5 as DNS, but in that case you need to install, you need to provision GTM module. But
Okay.
if you want to use external DNS, then you need to define that DNS server details in system tab of F5 LTM.
Okay.
Is it, this is clear?
Yeah.
I will show you on lab. Okay, once we will do, we will show you on
Okay.
lab. So
Okay.
once name resolution is done, can someone tell me what is the third step F5 will client will do?
Three-way
Once
handshake.
great. So three-way handshake will be done between client to F5. Fourth step, Amit, please tell me.
Four step
Like once client to
to
F5 handshake
handshake
is
to
done.
the server from F5 to server.
Okay, so in that case, F5 will apply, F5 will see what is there in load balancing algo,
Okay.
and it will select server.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is fifth step?
Acknowledgement, I guess.
Sorry,
HTTP get request, I think.
REST, HTTP GET request. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sixth step, I'll suppose if it's a, like, I'm just saying it as a normal right now. I'm not talking about encrypted traffic. For encrypted traffic, there will be an SSL handshake happen. But we are talking just right now, it's a normal HTTP traffic. So now HTTP GET request is there, okay? So in that, now for
Once I
HTTP,
think.
for F5 to see HTTP content, we need to define HTTP profile in F5. so that it can see F5 data. So client does not know whether it's a TCP traffic or HTTP traffic. So how to differentiate between them? There is a concept of F5 which is called profiles. Like there is a persistence profile, there is a SSL profile, which we will cover in detail. So then once clients sends data, server will send response. So here it comes like, so here it's coming like HTTP get and HTTP response. So basically HTTP handshake, I will not say it's a HTTP handshake, but it will be like get request, HTTP get request will be done, then response will be coming from the server side, and then client will able to access F5. So this is how traffic flows. Any doubt
Okay.
on that?
No.
This is very important. You need to understand this because I will go through packet level. I will not go through theory. For me, I will teach you topic wise, but I will give you interview questions. I will ask you questions in between. If you don't know, I will ask you 10 times, but we will not go ahead until we are clear with one step. And
Okay.
I
That.
will also tell you like what type of questions, like if I cover basics TMOS architecture, then I will ask you what type of questions they ask, because Amit was saying that he wants to give interview level also preparation. So I will give you concepts. First, we will clear concepts. Then we will do some TCP handshake level Wireshark. Then we will give ask questions. So
Okay.
this is initial TMOS architecture. Hope this is clear.
Yeah.
We will cover encrypted and unencrypted, compression and uncompression later on. It will be covering in profile section.
Okay.
So
That's true. That's great.
So this is how full proxy module is built. So client will send SYN packet, LTM will send SYN-ACK, then it will be ACK packet, then it will be GET. Any issues on this?
No.
It's clear.
This is all I think we have already covered. So this is only shared like, so Nagaraj, can you tell me what is the difference between these two images?
Mm,
What is
uh,
the difference in this first image and what is the difference in this second image?
Load balance is there in between in the second image.
Good. So is it clear?
Yeah.
This we have covered.
Mm.
So this is how request and response, this will be covered later on. We will cover that. What is there in HTTP request and what is there in response. So this is DNS. We will, right now I'm not telling you DNS because we will cover later on. So F5, right? Let me come into picture. So F5, you need to know this also. Sometimes people ask, F5 has different flavors, or you can say module. One is LTM, one is GTM, one is ASM, or it's called WAF. Fourth
Okay.
one is APM. So LTM, it's local traffic manager, which we have covered. What is GTM? GTM is called GSLB. It's called Global Server Load Balancing.
Its name has been changed, right?
Right, it is
It's
now called DNS.
DNS. Okay.
So it is called global server load balancing. If I come into picture, what it does, it will help you to resolve. So I have application hosted on my A data center. This is my A data center. I have same application hosted on my B data center. I have same application hosted on my C data center. So this is Singapore. If I say this is Singapore data center, this is Delhi, and this is New York. So if I said LTM, so LTM will do load balancing between different servers or application within same data center. That's why it's called as local traffic manager. Is it clear? We cannot distribute load from LTM to, like if I say, if any request coming from Santosh, if any request coming from Amit IP, I should go to Singapore data center. LTM will never do that. LTM will only see, it will do load balancing, what is called in its load balancing algo. All application in LTM is hosted on single data center. But if I talk about GTM, it's called global because it distributes your request between different data center. So suppose if one data center goes down, you will not get outage. So DNS is just a name resolution. It will resolve your DNS queries based on your best answer, which is closest to my topology. Like I'm sitting in Delhi, my request will go to Delhi data center. If I'm sitting in Singapore, I want my request to go to Singapore data center. So this is where your GTM will come into picture. LTM cannot do this.
Okay.
Okay, so if I like make it in a one phrase, is it like please correct me if I'm wrong. Like GTM is the first packet is always DNS. So GTM is like load balancing of DNS. It can be globally anywhere your server.
Right,
Once the DNS is resolved, then your traffic starts, which is three-way handshake that will be
correct.
taken
Then
care
it will go to
by
LTM.
LTM.
Great. So basically
Okay.
request will come to listener IP. So basically listener IP is your name server IP. So in when GTM is there, in that case, we will ask ISP to hit our GTM first. So we will need to define our name server IP, that is called listener. So listener is just like a VIP IP. So right, Santosh, first you will get an IP, then it will go to that load balancer, then it will be doing same as LTM, three-way handshake and all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problems. Then there is one module which is called Access Policy Manager, which is also a big IP APM module, which is one of the module in F5. So what is the advantage of this APM is, so have you heard about single sign-on solutions and
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah.
this is where APM will come in picture. Have you heard about multi-factor authentication?
Yeah.
So
RSA and all.
right, so this is where your access policy manager comes in picture, where I want first login to be successful, then only request should go to my server. I want first my users to be authentic through AD, then only I want it to be, you can say that access policy manager is like, I want AD based authentication. I want Karan and Amit to go to this server based on my authentication. Basically, you
Just
can
for
do,
authentication.
right,
It,
authentication
okay.
AAA solution, you can say.
And why it is its name is policy?
So
Access
policies,
is okay.
we need to apply policies, like if I want uh, client coming from this server, I will apply policy. If this comes from this server, it goes to this authentication server. So that is why policy is called.
Okay. Okay.
One more thing. Are you going to teach us how to create I rules or what?
Right, right. I will, it's cover in this. I rule is cover.
Okay. Do you need any Java for that?
No, Java is not there. We will use simple iRule. So generally, what, let me update you. iRule will be getting removed soon. Okay, maybe this year F5 will remove it. Now there is a concept of policies coming in picture. So when uh, from version 13, version 12 also have LTM policies. So LTM policy, even if you don't know iRule, if you even you don't know any programming, so LTM policy is like, if HTTP request comes, I will redirect. So F5 has a phase which is called LTM policy. It will give you a good graphical. It has introduced a good graphical console where you don't need any programming. You got, generally iRule is basically to modify your traffic. So iRule, for iRule, you don't need to be perfect, but you don't need any Java software. We can use iRule here available in our F5, or you can use iRule editor. You can download easily if you want to practice.
Okay.
Okay, this is another one is an ASM module, which is purely an application security manager. So I hope you heard about web application firewall like FortiGate, WAF. So it's same like F5 introduce an application security model. So what's it the advantage of ASM is? Let me tell you just for 2 minutes, because in certification this comes in picture when you appear for any certification exam for F5. So it comes. So ASM is also called web application firewall. It is used to protect your application from layer 7 attacks. Either it can be SQL injection attack, it can be parameter tampering attack, it can be your cross-site scripting attack. So generally F5 ASM will protect against your attacks. I can say OWASP top 10.
Okay, great.
So it has a feature of learning, so it can learn traffic, what are file types, what are URLs, what are parameters. So it can understand, it can open packet, it will understand whether your HTTP request is according to compliance, your request is not exceeding, you are using proper HTTP version, your request are I can block it if I want if my HTTP requests are coming from version HTTP 1.0, then I want to block it, I can block that. So it can protect your applications from different types of attacks. That's where it is called application security manager. So people ask me and other, what's the difference between Palo Alto or any layer 7 firewall versus F5 ASM? Anyone can, I think you are not aware, but everyone comes. So
I
basically,
can maybe
okay,
I can try to
yes,
explain
yes,
that.
yes, yes, please.
Uh, this is just a guess. Maybe it is like that. Correct me.
No problem, sir. It's
I think like the Palo Alto and FortiGate, if you are applying the ASM module in that, first thing is they are just made for firewalling, but this is the extra module added in that. But the another thing is like these firewalls are signature based, not behavioral analysis. To protect the attacks, which are OWASP, where your HTTP headers will get rewritten, you do not need a signature based appliance. You need an appliance which can understand the behavior where the HTTP request is correct, but there is something bad inside the request. This is what I think. This
excellent.
makes
So
ASM
basically,
different.
excellent. So basically, ASM has a learning engine capability which can learn all traffics. So Santosh, you are correct. So firewall was basically introduced to protect your networks. It can work on based on your attack signatures. It can protect from SQL injections based on signatures. But what, Sven? Suppose if I want to protect my parameter like price from my website, can my firewall detect like there is a parameter tampering happening? So this is where learning engine come in picture. Can my can firewall protect from cookie poisoning? So this is where, so Santosh, your answer was perfect. So it has behavior analysis. Generally Palo Alto I think has introduced behavior analysis, but again, if still you want both, generally right now in industry, according to me, you should use hybrid technologies, so fire, so that traffic can distribute between different. So if I want to protect against DOS attack, then I can use firewall. But if I want to protect my database server and application server, which are critical and I want to protect, then I can introduce ESM module. So this is where it has a policy builder. It applies policies based on compliance and everything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So last thing, after that we will end this. So there are different platforms available. We can deploy either a virtual edition F5s, we can deploy a physical edition, or we can use hybrid. So we have different services like 2000 series. This is a basic model of F5, then 4000, then 5000. So you don't need to know this, but these are different modules which have been introduced on F5.
Karan, I have to leave because I have a meeting
Sure,
now.
no problems.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the session.
No
Okay, guys,
problems.
bye.
Bye. So Nagraj, Amit, so any questions? Let me.
No, it's clear.